My greetings to Dr. Farhana. I am Rishalini daughter of Sarvanan. My matrix number is AE190119. Today, for the article review based on the MRI, I would like to start by explaining the basic principle, the clinical applications, and also the deep learning. Let me begin with the basic principle of MRI. What is an MRI? MRI, which is also known as the magnetic resonance imaging, is a medical imaging technique which uses a magnetic field and computer-generated radio waves to develop precise images of our body's organs and also tissues. Doctors, scientists, and researchers are now able to examine the inside of the human body in high detail by using this non-invasive tool. What are the functions of the MRI? Some of the significant functions of MRI are in the areas of analyzing brain disease, spinal disorders, angiography, cardiac function, and musculoskeletal damage. The MRI scans are different from CT scans and X-rays as it does not use any potentially harmful ionizing radiation. Other than that, the MRI has better contrast resolution. Now, what are some of the examples of clinical applications of the magnetic resonance imaging? The first use is, it includes in neurological applications. This can diagnose both acute and chronic neurological diseases. This is the most preferred method for brain tumor detection. In this application, most protocols involve the administration of GD, which is known as the gadolinium. The next clinical application is for the liver. As all of us know, liver is the most strong organ in the human body. By using this MRI, it can help to detect certain liver disorders such as hepatitis, hemochromatosis, and fatty liver disease, and also tumors. Besides that, MRI is also used for cardiology. This is done in order to reduce motion artifacts that are scanned to the cardiac cycle based on the ECG, which is known as the electrocardiograms. Moreover, we can diagnose coronary artery stenosis too by using this angiogram. Now, let me explain about the application of machine learning. In order to speed up the MRI, compressing sensing, which is known as CS, that makes the use of picture compressibility has been developed. Next is parallel imaging, which makes use of the redundant information between coils has also been developed. The deep learning has been used to speed up the MRI. For some clinical applications, real-time imaging is crucial. In addition, the reconstruction of MRI data by using machine learning is becoming more and more common in study. Machine learning-based reconstructions of MRI images have been received relatively little clinical validation to date. Furthermore, the AI, which is known as the artificial intelligence, approaches have also been effectively used to a number of MRI applications in the body, like for the diagnosis of heart issues and the segmentation of the brain tissue. It has been demonstrated that an AI technique performs much better than the radiologist's reporting. Thus, the artificial intelligence algorithms perform better. That's all from me. Thank you.
Greetings to Dr. Farhana Ni. My name is Sharveshwari and my matrix number is AE190112. The most frequent method of the findings is the deep learning. In artificial neural networks, the deep learning is a set of techniques and algorithms that enable computers to discover complicated patterns in large data sets. Feeding the breakthroughs is the increased access to data, user-friendly software frameworks, and an explosion in the available compute power, enabling the use of neural networks that are deeper than ever before. These models nowadays form a state-of-art approach to a wide variety of problems in computer vision, language modeling, and robotics. In deep learning, the computers learn useful representation and features automatically, directly from the raw data, bypassing the manual and difficult step. By far the most common models in deep learning are various variants of artificial neural networks, but there are others. The main common characteristics of deep learning method is their focus on feature learning, which is automatically learning representation of data. This is the primary difference between deep learning approaches. In medical imaging, particularly MRI, the interest in deep learning is mostly triggered by convolutional neural networks, which is known as CNN, a powerful way to learn useful representation of images and other structured data. Before it became possible to use CNN efficiently, these features typically had to be engineered by hand or created by less powerful machine learning models. Once it became possible to use features learned directly from the data, many of the handcrafted image features were typically left by the wayside as they turned out to be almost worthless compared to the features detectors found by CNN. There are some strong preferences embedded in CNN based on how they are constructed, which helps us to understand why they are so powerful. The advantage of deep learning is it eliminates the need for feature engineering. The first in machine learning, feature engineering is a fundamental job as it improves accuracy and sometimes the process can require domain knowledge about a certain problem. One of the biggest advantages of using deep learning approach is its ability to execute feature engineering by itself. In this approach, an algorithm scans the data to identify features which correlate and then combine them to promote faster learning without being told to do so. This ability helps data scientists to save a significant amount of work. Next, the deep learning has ability to deliver high quality results. A deep learning model becomes able to perform thousands of routine, repetitive tasks within a relatively shorter period of time compared to what it would take for a human being to do. In addition, the quality of work never degrades unless the training data contains raw data which doesn't represent the problem we are trying to solve. Besides that, deep learning also eliminates unnecessary costs. With the help of deep learning, subjective defects which are hard to train, like minor product labeling errors, can be detected. Next, deep learning eliminates the need for data labeling. With a deep learning approach, the need for well-labeled data becomes obsolete as the algorithms excel at learning without any guideline. Other types of machine learning approaches aren't nearly as successful as this type of learning. The limitation of deep learning are it requires very large amount of data in order to perform better than other techniques. Next, it is not easy to comprehend output based on mere learning and requires classifiers to do so. The convolutional neural network-based algorithms perform such tasks. Moreover, there is no standard theory to guide in selecting right deep learning tools as it requires knowledge of topology, training method and other parameters. As a result, it is difficult to be adopted by less skilled people. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Khairul Kambi Hamdan, Manometric CE 190216. I will continue for my parts. What can you conclude regarding your findings? The MRI scan is a medical imaging procedure that uses a magnetic field and ratio wave to take pictures of your body's interior. It used to investigate or diagnose conditions that affect soft tissue, such as tumors or brain disorder. The MRI scanner is a complicated piece of equipment that is expensive to use and found only in specialist center. For this question, can method in task be used to use other application or imaging modalities? Justify your answers. Deep learning has become method for accelerating MRI compared with traditional method. It not only improve the quality of the construct image but has the advantage of real-time imaging. The quality of image is measured comprehensively by the peak signal to noise ratio PSNR and mean structure similarity index measure MSSIM. Real-time imaging is important for some clinic application. For example, deep learning can achieve real-time inductive magnetic resonance imaging. This is MRI, guide radiotherapy by achieve higher acceleration vector to reduce total delays and provide a powerful diagnosis tool for dynamic assessment of race function. Deep learning with fully simple case-based data. Before this, before I start, what is case-based data? Case-based data is an array of numbers representing spatial frequencies in the MR image. The common pictorial representation of case-space as a galaxy perpetuates the mystery. Each star in case-space is just a data point that derived directly from the MR signal. The brightness of each star represents the relative contributions of that star's unique spatial frequency to the final image. For deep learning with fully simple case data, deep learning has achieved outstanding performance in the medical field, including biological magnetic resonance, spectroscopy, and stereo MRI. MRI reconstruction based on deep learning can be roughly divided into two categories, data-driven and model-driven. The former uses the redundant information in the original input to learn the potential mapping relationship from input to output, including learning the mapping from zero file to artifact-free image and the interpolation rule of K-space. Deep learning without fully simple case-based data, a network in a supervised manner can learn maps to complement the missing information in the input from fully simple data. The scenario without fully simple data, it is difficult to find the optimal solution from infinite latent solution without other information. How to better discover effective period information is very important for deep learning without fully simple case data. The flowchart is shown in figure 1. Here is figure 1. Flowchart of deep learning for MRI reconstruction with fully simple data is A, and B without fully simple data. The difference between A and B can train the network in the supervised manner. The network take under simple data and other period as input and update parameters by backpropagation algorithm such as SGD and variation. In reconstructing phase, the trained network can construct high quality image from the input. Thank you.
Greetings to Dr. Farhana. My name is Vanisan Almugam. My metric number is AE190128. Today I'm going to explain about the challenges that could obstruct with the development or implementation of machine learning or artificial intelligence or deep learning towards medical images. The first challenges was data heterogeneity and complexity of medical images. Many of the early successes in computer vision were based on the photographic images of common objects such as fruits, cars, houses, and so forth. Medical images, which are usually stored in digital imaging and communications in medicine, which is known as DICOM format, are inherently different from the ImageNet dataset. The DICOM standard was created to enable numerous processes in medical imaging and is responsible for a variety of advancements in the field, especially the digitalization of radiology. The concept of image comparison, a vital feature in medical imaging used to determine the alteration in patients' health status over time, it is not commonly explored in non-medical application. Moreover, medical imaging findings are often not specific for a single disease entity and can be identified in a variety of diseases. The second challenge was medical imaging data curation. ImageNet was transformational to computer vision research because it illustrated the importance of data curation in addition to feature and algorithm generation. For the task of labeling and standard photographic images containing relatively easily recognized objects, the general population was well qualified for the task of classification or annotation, and ground truth could be easily established. However, labeling of medical images requires the expertise of one or more trained radiologists, and labeling of imaging at a large scale requires reliance on multiple experienced and expensive domain experts, rather than relying on general public to accomplish this task. The third challenge was variety of tasks and endless clinical scenarios. Medical imaging is used to address a variety of clinical scenarios ranging from disease detection to disease surveillance. Each scenario is composed of a series of specific tasks that may be suitable for machine learning, including disease detection, localization and classification, and lesion segmentation and classification. The sheer number of clinical scenarios and the variety of tasks that each of these focus areas can be contained is astronomical and clearly impossible to be tackled by one individual or single organization with the existing methodology. The final challenge is patient privacy. It has been notoriously difficult to create large public databases of medical images. This has been largely driven by fear of inadvertently exposing protected health information, which is known as PHI. Medical images can contain PHI embedded into the pixel data itself or design films with handwritten PHI. Facial recognition software has been successfully used to re-identify patients from three-dimensional reconstruction of their facial structures, posing risks to confidentiality when these datasets are released to the public. Next, I'm going to explain about the final perspective towards the application of machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning for medical images. Machine and deep learning play an important role to train the computer system as an expert. These fields bring intelligence to computer that can extract the patterns according to specific data and then process them for automatic reasoning. Medical imaging, that rapidly growing research area that used to diagnose a disease that for early treatment. The artificial intelligence is the main domain and machine learning and deep learning works under this domain. The use of machine and deep learning in medical imaging as important interference for the medication. It is very significant that this research area ensure better care for patients. The position of the machine and deep learning tackles are serious to confirming that they are applied in the greatest real way. That's all from me. Thank you.